Something else that we're going to encounter is when there's a fraction in front of the variable. And so if we read this, it's negative 1/2 times p equals 3/8. And usually, because we would be reading it as times the variable, I would want to divide. And if I divide by a fraction, if you remember your rules for dividing by a fraction, that dividing by a fraction, you can also multiply by the reciprocal. And so that's what we're going to use here. We're going to multiply by the reciprocal to cancel out this fraction that's in front. So I'm going to multiply, and you flip the fraction. Multiply by its reciprocal. So instead of negative 1/2, I'm going to multiply by negative 2/1. Whatever we do to one side, have to do to the other side as well. And what happens here, I multiply by the reciprocal, so it cross cancels, leaving me with just my variable. 3 times a negative 2 would be negative 6, and go right across the bottom. 8 times 1 is 8. And then make sure you simplify as well. 2 would go into both those numbers, leaving us, if I divide both by 2, I would get negative 3/4. Okay. You could also do some cross canceling here before you started if you didn't want to simplify in the end. But either way, you're going to get negative 3/4. Okay. This is the same thing. It looks a little bit different, but it's still like 3/18 times our variable here. So it looks like it's a fraction right by the variable. So again, I can multiply by the reciprocal, and then whatever we do to one side, have to do to the other side. So these will cross cancel, leaving us with just our variable. And on this side, I am going to cross cancel here to avoid some larger numbers. 13 goes into 13 once, 13 goes into 13 once. And so we can multiply across the top. 1 times 18, 33 times 1. So there's your fraction, 18/33, which would also simplify. 3 would go into both of those numbers. So divide by 3, divide by 3, or we get 6/11. All right, hope that helps you with when you have a fraction that's in front of your variable on those one-step equations.